The Flash 23.3, aka The Rogues, written by Brian Buccellato, art by Patrick Zurcher. So we open up now in Central City. We see at Iron Heights, we have the Rogues, mainly Captain Cold, Mirror Master, Weather Wizard, and I always forget the Heat one. I want to say Heat Stroke, but that's definitely wrong. We'll get to it. So they're all breaking in and they're trying to get out Trickster. They say, oh, he's been locked up there for too long. The Rogues never leave one of their own behind. So Heatwave, that's his name, Heatwave. So we then see a flashback to them trying to pull this heist. They're trying to break into this bank vault. And they say, oh yeah, we've got this whole plan built out. There are diamond mines underneath of the gem cities. That's why they're called the gem cities. And so we're going to use the mines to get under the bank and we're going to dig up into it. And that's the plan. And so we see Golden Glider is also in on this plan. And Mirror Master is still stuck in the mirror dimension. He's unable to leave. And so as they start making their way up, they get to the bottom of the vault, but then all of a sudden there's this huge crack in the ground. And it looks as though the foundations that the building the bank is in are not as strong as they thought they were. So at that point, Heatwave's like, well, all right, well, what are we waiting for? Let's get in there. But Golden Glider and Captain Cold point out, no, there are people up in that building, and if we dig any more, if we cause any more problems, the building could fall and people will die, and that's not what the Rogues do. So Golden Glider is currently the leader of the Rogues, and she says, yep, we're calling it off, no more. So they make their way out. So we see they go to a bar later on, they have some drinks. Golden Glider, who is just an astral projection at the current moment, she is unable to interact with anything, and Mirror Master is of course stuck in his mirror realm, so they're kind of just off by themselves. Captain Cold comes over and it's just like, hey, guys, sorry you're having a tough time. I will leave you now. Have fun together. So they are just doing their own thing. And Captain Cold just reminisces saying like, yeah, it's all my fault that we're all like this, especially them. They were the ones who were hit the hardest. And we see the bartender saying, hey, it's last call. You guys need to get out of here. And both Weather Wizard and Heatwave are just passed out drunk. So Captain Cold says, yeah, hey, could I get your help loading them into the mirror dimension? And Golden Glider's like, no. In fact, you got us into this mess. You can figure that out. I'm going to get Mirror Master, my boyfriend, out of the mirror dimension. I'm going to use my powers to do it. And Captain Cold's like, that could kill you because need I remind you, you're an astral projection of this horribly ill woman in a hospital bed. And she's like, pshaw, go tell it to Trickster. So she flies off. She goes to her hospital room and she gets in front of a mirror where Mirror Master is, and they give it a shot. And she manages to pull him out into the real world, but as she does, it's too much for her heart and she goes into cardiac arrest. And we see that her apparition, her astral projection, disappears. So Captain Cold, Heatwave, and Weather Wizard all show up at the room. Captain Cold's freaking out, and he's just like, I'll kill you, Mirror Master. How dare if anything happens to her, I'll kill you. And everyone in the group is like, hey, she made her decision. She was the leader. Same way that you made the decision for us that gave us these horrific powers. We just have to live with it. And he's like, oh, yeah, you're going to pull that up now when my sister is dying? How dare you? You know what? Screw this. The Rogues are done. So he goes out. He reminisces on how in the beginning the Rogues were just, some petty thieves that he organized, and then the Flash came and ruined everything. So then, in order to get one up on the Flash, he gave everybody special powers via this big machine, but it exploded and caused unnecessary complications. So he gets drunk, he goes to the bank that they were going to rob earlier, and he just uses his ice powers to break in broad daylight. One of the cops comes up and is like, Captain Cold, freeze! And he's like, is that a joke? Are you making a pun? So then he goes and he's about to attack the cops. He throws a few punches, but then the rest of the Rogues show up through the mirror dimension. They grab him and pull him in, and they're like, dude, look, we get it. We understand you're pissed off. We're sorry that we brought up the whole thing there. Can we just be cool? We need to be cool with each other. We're the Rogues. We stick together. And Captain Cold's like, yeah, okay, look, I know I never really said sorry for the whole exploding and giving you guys powers thing, but I am really sorry. And yeah. And they're just like, no, it's all cool. So do you want to be leader again? And he's like, yeah, okay, let's go get Trickster out of Iron Heights. So we see, the exact opening to Forever Evil. They start breaking into Iron Heights, but then, what's his name? Quickster? I don't know. Whatever the Johnny Flash, whatever his name is, he runs into Iron Heights, releases all the prisoners, and then the rogues go in afterwards, and they're like, hey, Trickster, you slept through a prison break, man. What is wrong with you? And he's like, oh, yeah, sorry. So Captain Cold apologizes, saying, hey, once a rogue, always a rogue. You're back in the group. And by the way, we got this silver coin thing. We're going to go check out what's going on with the secret society over in Forever Evil. So they make their way to the announcement place where the crime syndicate says, hey, Justice League is dead. This world is ours. You work with us. And the rogues are like, whoa, hold on. Flash is dead? You know what that means? We get to run the Gem Cities now. Let's go back home, boys. So they go back to Keystone City, and when they get there, the entire city is razed because of the events that happened in Grodd, which is Flash 23.1, I believe. And they come up and they're just like, oh my God, what happened to our city? And Captain Cold says, well, whatever happened, we're going to hold whoever did it responsible. And it says, to be continued in Forever Evil Rogues Rebellion #1, which is a little side series off of Forever Evil. So, yeah, that's all that. Honestly, I feel like in The Flash itself, I knew enough about the backstory of these characters that I didn't really need it here, but it is appreciated. Obviously, if you're coming in as a new reader, if you've never experienced the Rogues before, you might come in and be like, I'm sorry, what the hell is a weather wizard? And you get a little bit of understanding here. You get a little bit of, okay, here's the setup and where we're going as we get into this Forever Evil miniseries. So overall, I appreciate it. I think it's a very well-written book. I think the art looks great. I don't really have many problems with this at all. I think the only real critique I have is that it felt like it went back to the well of, oh, I messed up and I caused this horrible accident that gave us these horrific powers like 3 times over the book. Probably could have done it just like twice. Once where he brings it up to start, and once where they say, hey man, it's cool, don't worry about it. Going back that extra time just kind of felt a bit too padding for me, but that's such a small critique, all things considered. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one an 8. I think it does. This is exactly the kind of way that I would like these little miniseries to be set up, where it's, hey, we're welcoming in new readers, we're telling them everything we need to know, and then we are immediately just jumping into the event. We're saying, hey, here's everything you need to know, go for the next issue coming out next month or whatever. So yeah, I'd say this is a solid 8. I really do think it is worth it.